So just look at one another for a moment and remember this moment in time. Because before this time, you've been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, even teacher, because I'm sure that you've learned much from one another over those years that you've known each other. You've just said a few words that will take you across a threshold in life, and things between you will never quite be the same, because as from today, you can say to the world with pride, "This is my wife, this is my husband."
A few words about Lucy first seem to be appropriate, and the way I'd like to say it is the way she looks today is actually stunning. We love her to bits, but we're happy to entrust her to Dave. We've always found Dave to be honest, hard-working, trustworthy and also caring. What more could parents want for their daughter? I actually have to confess, when she first walked out of the bedroom earlier today, I did what I'm doing now. It would also be remiss of me not to mention what a grand job Lucy's actually done herself. All the organisation, day to day, keeping calm, dealing with all the problems, most of the time, whilst the rest of us have gone into all sorts of various meltdowns, believe you me. I must also say that Dave has scrubbed up tidy, looks the part, and Lucy couldn't have found a nicer and more compatible person to share her life with.
Good afternoon, a very warm welcome to this ancient parish church of St Mary Nether Alderley on this very happy, joyful occasion, the wedding of David and Lucy. David, will you take Lucy to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honour and protect her? Forsaking all others, be faithful as long as you both shall live.
I will.
Lucy, will you take David to be your husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honour and protect him? And forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live.
I will.
David and Lucy, I now invite you to join hands and make your vows in the presence of God and his people. I, David.
I, David.
Take you, Lucy.
Take you, Lucy.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer or for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
Till death us do part.
Till death us do part.
According to God's holy law.
According to God's holy law.
In the presence of God.
In the presence of God.
I make this vow. I, Lucy.
I, Lucy.
Take you, David.
Take you, David.
To be my husband.
To be my husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
To this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Death us do part.
Till death do us part.
According to God's holy law.
According to God's holy law.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
And in the presence of God I make this vow.
I, David.
I, David.
Give you this ring.
Give you this ring.
As a sign of our marriage.
As a sign of our marriage.
With my body I honour you.
With my body I honour you.
All that I am I give to you.
All that I am I give to you.
And all that I have I share with you.
And all that I have I share with you.
Within the love of God.
Within the love of God.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. Coming off?
No.
David, I give you this ring.
David, I give you this ring
the sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
In the love of God,
Within the love of God,
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
In the presence of God and before this congregation, David and Lucy have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. Therefore, I proclaim that they are husband and wife.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, for the first time it gives me the greatest pleasure to say that from me and my wife, we would really like to thank you for being with us today. Now on to the real reason we're all here today. Doesn't she look absolutely breathtaking? I actually can't believe I'm allowed to now call this stunning wife my wife. It feels weird to have a ring, but it's pretty cool and it's nice. Thank you. That fits. I'm sure you'll all agree that Lucy looks absolutely incredible today, and I stand before you now a very, very proud man. When I saw you walking down the aisle, I was blown away, genuinely, and I wasn't going to look back, but I did, and I'm glad I did. I looked at myself and thought, wow, I'm definitely getting the better deal out of this. It made me think of the first time I saw you, all dressed up for work, looking like a boss, walking like Sasha Fierce, down the shop floor towards me. I must have looked like a right plonker with my mouth wide open. But it was then that I first thought, wow, she is something else.
There's not a bad word I can say about Dave, in public anyway. He's genuinely almost caring, sincere and loving people I've ever met. Not to mention she makes the best pavlova I've ever had in my life. So it's a good call there. Nailed that one. Yeah, when Dave told us how he was proposing to Lucy, we were all flabbergasted how romantic and loving it was. He somehow managed to convince Sam, Will and I that we were in for a manly movie night at mine, all get together, watch maybe Scarface, Godfather or something like that. Ended up turning into a bit of a sweatshop where we were forced to cut out 1,000,001 red love hearts for him to stick all over his living room in their new home for when he's going to propose to Lucy. We were all shocked that he said yes, we were impressed. So on that note, in all seriousness, I'd just like to propose a toast to the newlyweds and wish them all the best for their wedding in the future and their marriage in the future.
Whilst Lucy and Dave have been together a few years now, their early relationship didn't suggest nuptials in the future. So they all know you quite well. However, it has survived, Lucy working away for 18 months, the strains of Dave studying for his degree whilst holding down a full-time job, even one year driving Lucy back to London on Christmas night because she had to work the following day in retail in London. That was a tremendous situation. I admire him for doing it. Maybe that spell of long-distance relationship just proved the adage that absence does make the heart grow fonder. Now we get to the romantic part. When they eventually got to know the completion date for the house, Dave, being a traditionalist, came and asked Jean and I for Lucy's hand in marriage, which we obviously gave. We were glad to see the back of her. He then outlined his plans to Jean and I as to how he was actually going to pop the question. What a romantic. Having arranged to get the keys early, he decorated the lounge with hundreds and hundreds of cut-out hearts, with plenty of help, I must add, from Dave's mum, Akram, Sam and Swain. Meanwhile, Lucy had been kept occupied by her mum being pampered, as ladies are, at Jean's local beauty parlour on the pretext of trying to avoid her stressing out because their keys were going to be late. When eventually Dave called her to say the keys were available, she then drove to the estate agents to meet him so they could pick up the keys together. Having collected them, being in separate cars, Dave was then able to ring his mum, who had remained at Dean Row, and she added the finishing touches by lighting the candles and putting on the mood music. What a romantic. When they got back to their new home and opened the door, Lucy couldn't understand why there was music playing. She was even more shocked when she went into the lounge and saw this pre-prepared scene. I believe at that point, Dave, being a true romantic, went down on one knee. And when she turned around to ask what was going on, he asked the big question. Thank God she said yes. This is actually a perfect example of how caring and considerate Dave is, and just goes to show Lucy how lucky she is to have found him, although I'm sure she knows that already.
Something I'd like to share with you, and that Lucy knows, was the first time I told someone I was going to ask Lucy to marry me, as I knew she was the one. Knowing you all, you'll know how close I was to my grandparents, and especially Granda Ken. Lucy and him took instantly together to each other. They could get away with murder, and every time we were around, they were always together. I wanted the chance to tell him that I definitely knew Lucy was the one, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, and to build the family that I'm looking forward to building with you. He hadn't responded for hours, but on hearing this, he grabbed my hand tightly, beamed a massive smile, and a big tear rolled down his face. Now, the thing that won my heart over is that with Lucy, she isn't just beautiful, caring, and intelligent. She is also a strong, independent personality. And as Mick Swain put it, you'll never be bored. And you're not fazed by a little stubbornness, something I may have a little bit of. Some say we may have a few things in common. But then you say, don't marry someone you can live with, you marry the person you can't live without. And I think that sums us up perfectly. So, the rest of my life will be that little bit more special knowing I'm spending it with this cheeky monkey. I love you.
Have these big old dreams that I'd write songs and everybody'd sing, and the crowd would come and scream for me on top of some platform as a king. Now all that I want is you. Now all that I want is you. And as a boy I wanted to fly away, like an astronaut disappears in outer space. And I grew up, I was captured by the light.